Okay, so just wanted to do a quick little wrap up of the first week. It's technically on Thursday, but I know that my day tomorrow is going to be probably a little too busy to get these videos and do the training that I need to each and every dog. So, before I get into certain things, the main purpose or focus of this week has been establishing a marker system, which I will use to build expectations within behavior as we progress in training. So a marker is a cue or sound that marks the specific moment in time that I like something, and it is going to announce the arrival of food for Mocha. So right now we're creating the association between the two. The idea is that it's going to mark the moment that I like what she did, so that way if anything happens between that and the delivery of the food, we want to make sure that we're rewarding the right thing. So if I ask her to go into a sit and while I'm going to grab food she comes up out of the sit, I don't want to accidentally reward that intermediate behavior. So it's kind of a bridge between the two. So we have yes, good, okay, no. Again, those are going to be, they're going to have different meanings as far as what I'm expecting her to do within each behavior. So, excuse me, yes is going to be, I like what you did, come get something from me. So I'm typically using that to shape new behaviors, to build engagement, to build enthusiasm within each behavior. She does not have to do anything past hearing that yes, other than take food from me. If I say yes and offer her food and she doesn't take food from me, I'm going to move away from her and hopefully entice her to come chase after me, but I'm not going to move to her and try to bribe her with food. I want her to build a little work ethic and try a little bit harder to come get food, and I'm going to use that movement to create a little bit of, or tap into her prey drive. But I don't necessarily want to force her to eat it. It can become aversive, and I don't want to teach her the habit of ignoring me and still getting something from me. So that's more so for a relationship aspect. Good and okay, those are going to be something that I use to work on building duration within behavior. So if I put her into a command and I say good, right now I'm teaching her that that means to stay in behavior until she hears that release word, okay. So right now, when I say good, I'm bringing the reinforcement to her, and I can repeat that a couple of times as long as I want her to remain in behavior. Every dog is different. Some dogs you need that constant good treat, good treat, good treat to be able to build duration with that, before they lose interest and move on elsewhere. She's pretty good at just keeping engaged with me. Like I said in the email, I think she's probably had a little bit of training before. I don't know if you told me that or not. I apologize. I don't remember. But she seems very interested in training, and she's picking up on things really quickly, and it seems like this is a little bit of muscle memory for her. Whereas other dogs, I can kind of play around with good treat, starting to add movement, good treat. I want her responding to those markers and not my movement, so I want to make sure that we're saying the marker first, and then whatever the presentation of food is. So it shouldn't be yes like that, because then she's responding to my movement, and then later when I want her to stay in behavior, I want my movements to be neutral. I don't want her seeing that I'm reaching for my pocket and come up and try to take food before I prompt her to do so. So it's going to be marker, grab food, deliver, or if it's already in my hand, marker, pause, offer food. And then no, we'll use accordingly. So if I put her into a sit or whatever and she brings it, and I'll say no, guide her back into behavior, and then reward. So couple of things that I've been working on with her, using, or I should say advocating for my space. She's not overly interested in me, which is fair. I've only known her for a couple of days. A lot of times separation anxiety is almost something that we create as dog owners, where we need our companionship with the animals. And so even dogs, if they go to lay off by themselves, we call them over to us because we want to hang out. So I like the idea of creating a little bit of spatial independence for her. So I'm gonna ask her quite often when we're just moving around. I want her to move out of my space. I don't put any emotion into it. I don't want it to be an emotional thing. I just want it to say, hey, move away from me. Just to create a nice little habit of not needing to be always in my vicinity. We'll be working on an out, so I can use that to move her away from me, move her away from other things, other people, if she has something that she's not supposed to. But a really big focus for her, if she's having separation anxiety, is please give me my space. We'll start with low context, things that she's not really that invested in, so there's not a lot of conflict, and I'm not gonna save it for she's stressed out and eating me or jumping up on me in excitement. Those are not really great learning opportunities. We want to start at the fundamental level so that she understands what the picture is, and then start asking for that when she's more of an elevated state of arousal. Place command is another thing that I'm working on. She seems to be really enjoying this, so I don't know if that's something that you've already been doing with her or another trainer's been doing with her. If you don't know, I don't know. The idea, it's super simple. We send her to her place, she relaxes and hangs out. We're creating a calm state of mind. But the idea is that it's great for impulse control. So things are happening around her, she has to remain on her place. Right now I'm building value in her being on there, building duration. I want it to be something where if you're sitting down next to her and you get up and you walk to the kitchen, she's not allowed to get up and follow with you. So impulse control and spatial independence and not needing to be with you all the time. In those little fundamental levels, you're just in your house, we want her to be comfortable not needing to be everywhere that you are. So it's not so cold turkey of I'm leaving the house entirely, it's just please don't follow me around everywhere that I go. She can still hang out with you and be a part of what you're doing, but in her own little area. And that can help with other aspects of like leash walking. She's not so motivated elsewhere around her. She's used to ignoring the things happening around her, so it'll help with that. Just kind of creating a new life skill for her. We're starting out in here. Again, she's really comfortable doing that. She put herself on her bed. I didn't do this. She just went on there. She's probably tired, but dogs just came in for the afternoon and she was out there, so she's like, this is great in here, nice and cool. I'm gonna use it to my advantage and have her just relax in here and be calm. I'll move around and do things around her. I'm progressing pretty quickly with her because she's comfortable with that happening. I'm not putting her, in a stressful situation. Place. Good. Good girl. What was I saying? But yeah, so I'll start progressing this once she understands what exactly I'm looking for. I'll start letting my dogs run around the room. I'll eat lunch in here while she's sitting down. I'll get up and go from sitting down to standing up to walking in and out of, and I can't really see the whole room, but in and out of the doors. Then we'll go other places, maybe hang out out front, the front little porch thing by the main building, hang out in the lobby, sit out in the yard on a place while all the other dogs play. Just trying to generalize this behavior in all different environments so she understands the picture of when you say place, I hang out on here no matter what's going on around. And that'll be helpful when you start integrating this at home. It is a good idea to really say, hey, you can go hang out by yourself, and then when it's beneficial to both of us, you can come hang out. Hey, place. Good girl. Good job. Good. Same thing with the crate. I'm doing the exact same thing. I don't know if she has a crate at home. I feel like you wrote this down and I need to go back and check, but I'm treating the crate almost like a behavior. So I will say crate and guide her in there. Oh, that you're gonna do it. Place. That's a much better position, I agree. And then when she goes in, I can either YES her out immediately to build enthusiasm going in, or I can say good, and she has to remain in there. If she comes out, say no, and kind of use facial pressure, my presence, to keep her back in, and then okay when she can come out. So I want her to understand the expectation of you have to be in here. And with that, I'll leave the door open so it's not so enclosed, like she's trapped in there. It's just something where she can go hang out. So we can transition that home, like, hey, like you could just hang out here sometimes, even if you're not actually going somewhere. It's not so much pressure on the idea of going into the kennel and being stuck in there. We're working on leash walking. This is place. Nope. I know, there's no dog in here. Go ahead. This is my main focus right now, and we'll start transitioning to the outside, walking around and things like that. I'm just trying to create a nice little muscle memory of where she's supposed to be within her heel. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I went over everything that I wanted to go over. I know it's a lot to take in, so again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay.